This is episode 3 of Paper Trail, the Milwaukee Brewers, the 2008 season, as remembered by the newspapers I found in my office. I'm Jen Lada. Okay, I was telling you about how things were going really well for the Milwaukee Brewers. They had closed the gap in the division. They were now even with the Cubs, headed into a 4-game series at Miller Park against those Chicago Cubs. Things did not go well in that series, and a big reason why, even though the Brewers were really good at hitting home runs that season, they were leaving runners in scoring position. Tom Hardercourt goes on to write, the Brewers failed to deliver a hit with a runner in scoring position for the third consecutive game on Wednesday. That was, of course, against the Chicago Cubs. They went 0 for 15 in those games. They only had 3 hits in 60 at-bats with runners in scoring position, which is a major reason why they were 3-5 over that span. But guys, it wasn't just the Cubs. Like, that series was dreadful, no doubt, but the Cardinals were coming on as well. Now, they weren't winning games at the same clip that the Cubs were, but they were just doing enough to stay right there and nip at the Brewers' heels. And at the end of that 4-game series between the Brewers and the Cubs actually overtook the Brewers and were in second place in the NL Central. There was a lot of stuff going on this time of year. We had talked about how they had already gotten CC Sabathia. CC Sabathia had taken out a full-page ad in Cleveland, which is so cool. It cost him $12,870, according to this article in here, saying thank you to the Cleveland community and how much his family appreciated being there. Of course, he now was a member of the Milwaukee Brewers, and it's a big reason why, according to another nugget here, the Brewers didn't do anything at the non-waiver trade deadline, which was, of course, July 31st, 2008. So it's an up and down season. The Brewers are doing really well, then they're faltering, kind of like most baseball seasons. But because they were coming off of that season prior where they had had a winning record for the first time since like 1992, expectations were super high. In fact, another thing detailed in this edition of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel sports section was that they had sold, the Milwaukee Brewers, 2.87 million tickets by that point, and that they were close to hitting 3 million in attendance by the end of the season. Now, that's a number now in 2025 we take for granted as far as Milwaukee Brewers fans go. But you have to remember, the Milwaukee Brewers didn't win consistently headed into the 2008 season. So you can tell by the number of people who were buying tickets, who were sitting at Miller Park, who were watching these incredible series, not so much that one against the Cubs. People were super excited about what the Brewers can do. And as we know, as the season would go on, they would be rewarded for that loyalty as the season comes to a close.